Word of advice for this film: when you're done, have a glass of water. You're gonna need it to combat the headache you'll get. Because this film will give you a headache. Shutter Island was released in 2010 and was director Martin Scorsese's first turn into the psychological horror / thriller since Taxi Driver 34 years beforehand. But as I say, this film will give you a headache. There are so many twists and turns in there, you don't know what's real and you don't know what's in the heads of our protagonists. The plot of the film goes like this. It is 1954 and US Marshal Teddy Daniels is heading to Shutter Island, which is an island combined with an asylum for the criminally insane. Daniels is on his way there to speak to one of the asylum inmates who is incarcerated for drowning her 3 children. But what appears to be a routine investigation takes a sinister turn as some horrifying truths about the island come out. And Daniels finds himself not just in a fight to figure out what the hell's going on, but also in a bit of a fight to keep his mind, because he doesn't know what's real and he doesn't know what is actually messing with him, if that makes sense. Now, this may not work with Martin Scorsese's best work. I mean, there's no way you can top Taxi Driver and Goodfellas, but he has still done a cracking job. I mean, when I watched this film the first time, I struggled to keep up with it. Scorsese's work in keeping the twists and turns coming succeeded. I just simply didn't know what was real and what was sort of like in the head of Teddy Daniels. And speaking of Teddy Daniels, he is acted terrifically by Leonardo DiCaprio as an officer who thinks his investigation is all simple and routine, but soon divulges into a sinister turn as he fights to keep control of his mind and figure out what the hell's going on. There may not be music to the film, but it does add to the suspense. The music combined with the acting and the twists and turns given all create so much suspense you will be left on the edge of your seat, or your bed, or wherever it is you're going to sit. But anyhow, this film is terrific. Suspense, it took me a few turns to finally figure out what the hell was going on in the film, because the first time it did give me a headache. But after the first few times, I finally figured out what on earth was going on. And the ending also adds to the suspense and leaves you wondering what is real and what is suspenseful and in the mind of people on the asylum island. So overall, Shutter Island is worth the watch, though, as I say, you're going to need a glass of water if you're watching it the first time through, because you will get a headache. So, but yeah, watch this film when you can. It is that good, and that suspenseful. And as I say, there are many twists and turns you will not expect. And tune in next time, as for next week on Halloween month, we will be looking at a film that has genres in thriller, crime and horror, and is one of only 3 films to have won the Big 5 awards at the Oscars. Silence of the Lambs.